Actually, I'm kind of surprised, as you know, we can say this now. Game 1, it's going to be on Golden Wall. Oh god.
Right. Well, I don't know what I should be expecting here, Light.
Mm-hmm.
I always feel like I have to tamper my expectations a bit. It's kind of like how when we always cast Mika. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when somebody who's not familiar casts Mika, we're always like, oh man, he's crazy. He does all this weird stuff, and then he just plays a macro game. I feel similar in this series. I wanna come into this and say, yeah, we're on Golden Wall. These two players, you know that they have to switch things up. They can't play that defensive style that they probably want to. But then, yeah, I don't want to be wrong there. But anyway, let's get this started, shall we? We are now on Golden Wall, as we were saying. We're in the right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the right-hand corner map. We have the red Protoss player. Coming out from the land of South Korea, he is the one who blesses the rains down under. The land down under. He is representing a freak of freaks, the Shield of Iron himself. We have Stats. Boy.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, currently representing generic Green Wings. It is Trap.
I think I will always, being a Stats fan, a series that I will always remember to remind me to tamper my expectations is their recent GSL finals.
Mm-hmm.
Between Stats and Rogue, I was always like, oh yeah, Stats, he's probably got a ton of strats to pull off here against Rogue, right? He knows who he's up against, he's preparing, and then it's just, yeah, it didn't turn out too well.
Yeah, I mean, he did go up against Rogue, which again is, you know, he's a BlizzCon champion. He's one of the best. And
two-time IEM.
Yeah. So it's a tough ask, regardless of your opponents. But yeah, we'll see what happens here in this series, because I agree. Like in the PvP, it could be crazy, it could be wild, or it could be just incredibly standard and very, you know, very slow. We do see Trap, he is completely walling off here, looking to expand on the southern half of the Golden Wall, whereas Stats instead, he is looking to try to expand here to the northern half, but it does get blocked a little bit by this pylon.
Yeah, not quite the barracks block, but a block nonetheless.
Oh my god.
Trap once again gonna be living up to his name. Actually, I didn't even notice that he built it over here.
Yeah. Is this the equivalent to the barracks block, the cyber block?
I feel like this is kind of like the armory block. Although I'm not sure how many Terran players have an armory this early.
Oh my god. And with this cybernetic score, he does scout the Stargate, so, you know, Trap is aware of what his opponent is going for. Meanwhile, Stats, he's in the dark, as he has been completely walled off, so he is unaware.
One probe.
This dude's
chipping away at this pylon for over a minute and a half.
Yep. Oh, is he gonna get it? The Stalker's not gonna get out in time.
The Stalker's not gonna get out in time, but the Oracle might.
Oh, true, but he's gonna waste his Oracle on this probe.
Oh, he's chronoing it. Chrono ran out, but it's still a little ways to rally. Chrono ran out light. It's still a little bit away. So much shelf hasn't got left. Stats! He moves away! All that effort.
He got so close, and I mean, you know, shields do come back, but hull damage doesn't, so maybe that'll come into play at a later point. Maybe a couple of adepts, yeah, we'll shade across.
Hull damage?
Yeah, hull damage.
I like it. I'm gonna use it from now on.
That's not the first time we've said it. I think you said it as well.
Trap gonna be living up to his name as the wing commander, going for these phoenixes, as he was the one to scout his opponent's Stargate.
Am I crazy? So, yeah. I'm pretty sure you said it.
I might have.
God damn it. Anyway, so the first Oracle did go in, and it did get 2 workers, but it was pushed away by the defensive Stalkers of Stats, which is, I mean, you know, it's what we expect. It's Stats, right? And he's got his own on the way as well.
Yeah, taking a bit of a long way around. He does not want to. He doesn't want to take any chances here.
Yeah,
He
and
knows he's been spotted.
yeah, and the problem being, because he's been spotted like Trap, he already has a Phoenix out, and he's actually rallying across the map looking to intercept the Oracle of Stats.
And intercept it will not yet.
Oh.
But Trap, he's on the hunt. He is looking for that Oracle, but going a little bit off in terms of the trajectory.
Yeah, exactly, and it looks like he may miss it. He's trying to just
Stats is turning around.
He juked him
to meet him.
He did it.
Completely juked him.
Wow.
Wow.
He was somehow able to outmaneuver the Phoenix Commander, the Wing Commander himself, and get past all the Phoenixes. But I'm still a little bit concerned.
He pulled a Jean-Luc Picard maneuver.
He did it. He did it.
Don't remember what it was called. The Picard maneuver?
I haven't watched all of TNG, mate. I don't know what you're on about. But the Phoenixes, they dive in and they get one. They're gonna be 2 sentries.
That
Wow.
they do, and a heck of a lot of probes. It's only 4 probes, actually. You calm that down. But, I mean, considering it is a mirror matchup, considering it is this early on in the game, both players are on even basis right now. As long as Trap continues the probe production, he will perpetually be ahead. But can he recover from the stasis ward? This does give Stats a little bit of time to catch up.
Exactly. Stats using his signature Stats wards right here, right now. He's whipping it out, able to deny so much mining time, and Stats being quite bold, going for that gold base.
I feel like he kind of needs to right now. He knows that he's at a bit of a disadvantage economically. The question is he going to be able to hold it? There are only Phoenixes out in the map right now, so they won't be able to do any damage to buildings. But still, it's pretty... It does mean that it's going to be a while before he mines from there. Meanwhile, Trap's starting to be aggressive.
Exactly, like he's aware of this gold base. So we do see Trap already with the Immortal, with the Stalkers looking to try and deny mining here. Maybe even destroy the Phoenix, the Nexus of Stats. And to be fair, Stats, he does have a couple of units on the other side of the wall of his own.
And he's looking to flank with him.
Well, that he is.
But it's still pretty... That is still a pretty respectful army coming out from
the ward.
Trap blink forward, but the ward completely takes out 2/3 of Stats' army.
Yeah, and at the same time, we do have all 4 of the Phoenixes going into the main mineral line of Stats. Kind of running out of energy a little bit there, but yeah, just 9 probes going down.
Absolutely. Stalkers will recover from the stasis ward, but from there, I feel like that was just too much damage done. Stats, he's catching up. He's actually ahead in Orcus right now. He's been chronoing them out thanks to his 3 bases. But he's so far behind in the army.
Exactly. That's the thing, right? Like, he's ahead in economy, but the thing is, he's been remaking so many of those workers that he hasn't been spending his money on the army. And now, like, with half the army CC'd, Trap.
You can sandwich this.
Oh, God.
You can.
Yeah, utilizing that blink to escape with the majority of his Stalkers, but it looks like he's going to run into the Phoenixes, so everything gets picked up in the end.
And this, I think, is just a game of incremental damage, building up over time. Trap continuing to take out a handful of units here and there, slowly but surely, and Stats, as you said, always forced to rebuild them.
Yeah, exactly, and like Trap just perpetually always ahead in terms of the army because of that, and again denying all this mining time at the gold base, even chipping away at the Nexus as well. And what can Stats really do to stop this?
Yeah, he does have to respect this position that Trap does. If he tries to blink forward, he's moving right into a concave with 2 Immortals in there, and even more Stalkers. So Stats, he's gonna have to sack this base. I think he has a little bit of hope in him, which is why he's keeping the probes there, and he is able to sort of steer the army away. These Zealots, they are going to be basically the main hope right now for Stats.
Yeah, and he blinks on forward. He's able to kill 1 Immortal. The second one, he's trying to focus it down, and it looks like, he gets saved in the end by the War Prison. The War Prison goes down, the Immortal goes down, but that's it. GG
is called. Trap. He may have lost his key units, but he still had way more of every other unit.
Exactly, like his gateway count and the disruptor as well to help reinforce was just too much. And Trap takes game number 1.
Indeed he does. And as we all know, Stats. He is actually looking to win this series to become the #1 ESL Open Cup, or the most winningest ESL Open Cup Asia player. Trap putting a little bit of a wrench in his plans there.
Yeah, Trap, he hasn't been as successful in these ESL Cups as opposed to Zest and Stats, but at the same time, I feel like Stats, he's been really getting into his groove in the later months of the year, in most recent months, and yeah, he's showing that here today. Like, he's looking really in form, and we'll see if he can keep it up here in this series against Stats.
Gemini's channeling his energy right now, probably.
Oh, you know what? He's probably tuning in. Like, we've taken note. Whenever Gemini doesn't watch, Trap, he suffers. But if Gemini's there, then Trap excels.
This is very true. He needs to Trap. He does need to, look over from his desk and get a bit of a reminder. What is he? Why is he playing so hard? Why is he practicing so hard? What is he doing it all for?
Yeah, and then that's when he sees the profile picture on his night table, on his bedside table of Gemini.
I think we all need a little Gemini in our life. And while you ponder onto that, we are going to be loading in onto Everdream, L.E. ideally Edle. We're in the top right-hand corner map, swinging all the way in the top right-hand corner map. We have the red Protoss player. Going to be blessing the reins. Down under. Playing for the clan team Afrika Freaks. He is the assistant, not even an assistant, the head deputy director, president, chairman, CEO of S.H.I.E.L.D. We have Stats.
Yaku, what if Rain was on Afrika?
I'm really proud of Slight. It took us until the finals tonight to start talking about Rain.
As soon as you said blessing the reins, it just suddenly clicked in my mind, and like my brain expanded, and I'm like, Rain.
We haven't talked about Rain yet tonight.
I'm like, I need to fit him in, and mate, what if he was on Afrika? That would have been beautiful.
It really would have. Fortunately, had to retire before they became a thing.
I'll retire, switch
There'll be
games.
so many Rain Africa jokes.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of retiring, we have the bottom left-hand corner of Everdream LE. He's a player who is currently nuts. Of course he's not, because he has his boy Gemini cheering for him right here, right now. We have the South Korean Protoss player currently representing Generic Green Wings. It is Trap.
Okay, I can taste some of his own medicine.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Stats to throw down
I'm
that
waiting
cyber
for the cyber core, yes.
Yeah. Oh, he's trying. He's going for it. Oh, there he is.
Revenge, it is sweet.
It's better served wet? Question mark?
Revenge is a dish best served on a shield.
Of Afrika.
In the rain.
Look, I just want to talk about Rain. Okay, that's all I want to do.
I wish I could get paid to just talk about Rain all day.
That would be.
He
the dream.
was the best.
Oh my god! And at the same time, Trap is also.
He was on SK2 Dream.
Yeah, he was. He was on his team with Dream, but mate, there was a lot happening. Okay, with Rain and with Flash as well. That was back when Flash was a thing, and they were actually really close.
They were they were really close. Yeah, they were like friendly rivals because they were on opposite teams. But they practiced against each other whenever they could.
Yeah, and that
especially
really...
after Rain. Yeah, especially after Rain left SKT for Mind Sandy.
And that even came into play because like it was this situation where they would both like meet up like in foreign events, like in IEMs, and even in Brood War they were able to interact there as well. It's really cool.
That indeed it was. I have to wonder if that's how their bond started, because they both switched over when Keswa switched, and as we all know, Rain did start competing in Brood War. Actually became a ASL as well as KSL champion, if I've got my knowledge correct. So I have to wonder if they just bonded over their mutual love of Brute War.
I believe they did. I'm pretty sure there's some like flash VODs out there from his Afrika streams where he brought like Rain over and they had like the soju and like Korean fried chicken together and stuff. As they do.
Yeah, it's how you do in Korea. And speaking of how you do in Korea, Trap once again trying to live up to his name of the Wing Commander, but Stats way more prepared with the Stalkers this time.
Yeah, this time the Oracle deals no damage whatsoever. Stats doing what he does best and defending against them. And yeah, Trap, he's just trying to find some kind of damage, looking to dive into the natural as well, trying to poke and prod and see if there's any kind of chink in the armor of Stats. But so far, no dice, nothing whatsoever.
I think what I'm gathering so far, Light, is that if you pylon and then cyberblock your Protoss opponent, you are going to have a much better defense.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway from these two games.
That's what it's all about. It's all about the cyber blocks. And yes, Stats, he's the first player to expand and take that third base. It's quite bold of him, of course. In PvP, you do typically see players stay on 2 bases for a little bit longer than in some of the other matchups. But yeah, he's feeling confident enough.
Yeah, it's definitely risk reward because there are 2 ways you can approach a mirror matchup, right? You can either, especially PvP, you can think if I take a third base, I'm just setting up a target for my opponent to come in and attack. I'll be behind the army and whatnot. But the other way you can look at it is if I get this third base, I'm going to be able to chrono out more and more probes. I'm going to be able to get ahead in the economy much quicker than my opponent, and then go for a victory after that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure something that prompted him was the fact that, he knew that his opponent went for a Stargate opener. He knew that the Stargate opener did nothing, so he had the freedom to expand. And yeah, with that Trap, he's, being a little bit more, passive because of that. He's trying to tech up. He's working on +1. He's got Blink as well. Meanwhile, his opponent's Stats is also working on Blink and finally finishing up his Forge as well. So he's going to be a little bit behind, but not by much. And ooh, Trap going straight into charge.
Charge +1 and another charge +1. Light, we're having the rave.
Oh boy, it's happening.
How do you even micro that?
Look, it's just...
Imagine you have to set up the positioning beforehand and then maybe try to do something with Stalkers.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen charge on charge action too often, but we'll see. We'll see here today.
Man, I mean, I know we said that these 2 players are pretty similar in terms of your playstyle, but this is kind of ridiculous.
Oh boy, we'll see how this plays out. As again, they both have their like strengths and weaknesses when it comes to their builds and their openers at the moment. Like, Stats, he does have the faster Nexus, but in the end, like, they both went up to 3 bases. They both have relatively even worker counts. They have relatively even supplies as well. They're both working on their upgrades. Sure, Trap has this small window where he does have +1, a little bit faster, but we'll see if that comes into play.
Exactly. We're at the point where, they may have slight advantages over one another in certain aspects of their macro, but whoever's going to win this game is whoever's going to, continue the macro from here.
Yeah, definitely. And it did seem like Stats was going to move out, but he, thinks better of it, warps in a little bit first before he feels confident enough. And Trap is the first to throw down his 4th Nexus. It's going to be on Stats to try and deny that, to try and apply some pressure here.
Exactly, but Trap, he is looking to reverse that pressure right on its head, trying to catch his army out of position. But it is still a massive army. Trap, lacking the army supply, a quick warp window will equalize it for both of them. And I think we're about to see that Zell action, Light.
Oh, that we are, as it's important to bear in mind there is an immortal heal for Trap as well, so he does have that to help as his backbone, but immediately Stats, he blinks on top of it.
Wow, and I guess you could kind of notice there, Stats had the way higher Zealot count. And I mean, the Immortal, they're really good against the Stalkers, but they could not really do much against the Zealots. Meanwhile, what we were saying, like, Stalkers can't do too much against Zealots, and Trap gonna be proving that once again. It is all gonna come down to the Zealot on Zealot fight. Exactly,
and it looks like Stats has just enough here to break through and is able to get on top of that 4th base, but Stats, he wants more than that. He's pushing on even further in. Oh my god, that robotic space is quite exposed.
It is very, very exposed. but not quite taken out just yet. +2 is about to finish up for Trap, but the damage has already been done. Stats gonna tie up that series sideways 1-1.
Oh my god, and that was amazing blink micro there by Stats. I don't know if you noticed, but with those Stalkers, he blinked on forward, he sniped off the Warp Prism, he sniped off the Immortals as well, and eventually, like, he just had too much, and we got to see Trap, he was being a little bit too greedy. Like, he was getting a 4th base, and he was taking up to Disruptors at the same time, so he wasn't able to utilize his economy to bolster up his army like Stats did.
Well, that's always a gamble that you're taking when you expand into PvP, isn't it, Light?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Boy, oh boy. And now, we're going on to game number 3.
We're
Which
tied up.
sometimes would be the ace match, but not in this case.
Not in this case. Another reminder, this is a best of 5. So again, we do have quite a number of games left of this PvP, and we are tied up as well. So it isn't going to be a one-sided series either.
Yeah, hopefully anyway.
As we are going to be loading in for the second time today into Pillars of Gold.
Okay, I was worried we wouldn't see it at all tonight, but here we are seeing it a second time. Who's gonna proxy though? Like,
I was about to ask the same thing.
Well, we shall find out now as we are on the Pillars of Gold. LE holding up the Golden Wall. LE protecting the Eternal Empire. ELE, of which the LE submarines are hidden. In the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way to the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Protoss player coming out from the land of South Korea. He is going to be blessing the reigns down under, playing for Afrika Freaks. He is the Shield of Ire, the President of Ire, Nick Fury himself. We have Stats. Did I say the President of Ire? I meant to say the President of Shield.
You did say the President of Ire, and I was like, okay, sure. Look, it's been a long day. It's been a long. Could have been longer. You know, we could only just be starting, or we could still be in the semis if it wasn't for Hurricane. But speaking of Hurricane, we do have another South Korean Protoss player here. We have the blue Protoss player currently representing Generic Green Wings. It is Trap.
Yeah, I think it's the usual. Wardy saved us.
As usual, and we do see both players throwing down pylons. Are we going to see cyber cores as well?
Well, I don't see Stats' probe on the other side of the map, and that's because it is trying to dodge a probe.
Yeah,
but looking at the production tab. Both of them are getting your cyber cores back at home.
Yeah, and
Stats, are you gonna go for it? Be cheeky. He's turning around. But he's just mind gaming right now, is what he's doing.
I mean, he does have a little bit more time again. He doesn't have to throw down until the pylon is close to low health, and it looks like he may go for it.
But Zella's here. And there's that. Stats just pulls away. It actually pulls everything out. The cyber core gets thrown down, Light. But also on the other side of the map.
We have some cyber on cyber action right now. Both players getting them in their naturals, and mate, so I haven't seen too many PvPs in recent weeks, I'll be honest. I haven't been able to tune in too much.
Catching a stray Neve game? Neither did I.
But like, has this become the meta? Is this happening?
No, I think this is just both players getting really offended that they did this to each other in the previous games.
Oh my god.
So now they're just trying to one-up one another. Ooh, Stats does get to cancel.
Interesting.
So it'll be refunded pretty quick. But it does mean that Trap can get the quicker Nexus. We'll see if he actually takes advantage of that.
I was about to say, we'll see if he even gets it. We do see he is building up the minerals for it. So yeah, both players, they will expand.
Stats gets it quicker.
Yeah, so...
And yeah, I was just gonna say that with that Cybercore cancel, it did mean that Stats had enough money, enough minerals to get that Stargate, getting an Oracle out now, whereas Trap still kind of struggling for tech.
Yeah, and it's really interesting how this is playing out, like because of these cyber blocks as well, like it does force each player to finish a zealot as well, which is also like another investment that they'd rather not be doing. It's yeah, really interesting how this plays out. And again, I don't know if this is something
stats
we're gonna see more of.
Being pretty helpful there. He knew that it was oversaturated, so
He was just helping him out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure it wasn't too crowded in there in the Vespine mines.
Yeah, we'll see as stats did go for that Stargate opener. We have the first Oracle coming in here, but there are a couple of Stalkers in position. There's also a shield battery, and we both know that one Oracle cannot out DPS a shield battery.
Yeah, maybe eventually it'll be able to take out one probe as the hull damage adds up. I told you I would use that. As the hull damage adds up over time, but not after they spent their entire energy bar.
Yeah. Something that will help with that though is that Stats does have a second Oracle on the way. So with 2 Oracles, you do have enough DPS to outdo that shield healing. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's 2 Oracles is just enough to one-shot the probes. I'm just waiting for the triple Oracle that Stats is known to go for.
Ooh. Yeah. Of course, he is more known to go for that in a PvZ, but oh god!
Ooh! One of the Oracles does get taken out, and we are back to square one for Stats anyway when it comes to the harassment. Only 3 probes have gone down. Could have been a lot worse for Trap.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. So far, Trap, he's been able to defend quite well, able to take out one of those Oracles. And behind this, yeah, we do have a faster blink as a result from Trap. We do have his Robo out as well. And meanwhile, Stats, he's going to go for his third base.
Yeah, once again, he has the freedom to do this. He has complete map control. Maybe a little bit lacking in the ground army, but he sees just about everything that Trap is doing.
Oh yeah, and oh my god, he gets flanked!
How does this keep happening? Trap.
Wow.
He is the Oracle Popper. He is really making up for that Golden Wall game.
Look, there's a reason why they call him the Wing Commander, okay? Like, he not only controls the skies quite well with his own Sky Toss, but even with the ground, he's able to take out all the Oracles there from his opponents. Both Oracles end up falling, and yeah, really nicely done by Trap.
It very much so is. That's going to put a dampener on all of Stats' attempts at harass. But now we're moving on to the next phase of the game, where both of our players, they're just building up for their push.
Oh yeah, we do see quite a number of gateways on the way from both players, you know, as they are ramping up their production. Blink is finishing up for both players as well, as Trap finished first, but Stats not too far behind. You know, we have Forges on the way, and yeah, we'll see if Traps is able to hold up to his name, as Trap is looking to be quite aggressive here.
Indeed he is. This is what I was waiting for, Light. This is what I wanted to see, especially from Trap.
Yeah, it's important to note that with that high ground vision with the Observer or Hallucination, you know, whatever he wants, he can blink up into the main base.
Like so. And now he's looking for some key tech or potentially some probes.
Oh my god.
There we have it.
Yeah. That's actually a decent amount.
Completely not expecting this.
Oh my god. That was really cute.
Observers went down.
Yeah, they were able to snipe each other's observers. 3 probes went down, and Immortal joins the fray as well as this War Prism, and oh my god. Stats.
Yeah,
like
with that, Trap just had so much more opportunity to be aggressive.
Yeah, and he can force field the ramp. Oh my god, is he gonna go for it?
But he's gonna go for it. There we go. Blink, not quite there for Stats, at least not in that particular ramp, and the army has just about been cut in half. Trap, so much initiative here, so much potential. The boys are forced to be pulled. And Trap, well, I mean, honestly, he's getting surrounded, but there's just not enough DPS to deal with these stalkers.
Yeah, I mean, Trap, like, with the blink, with the reinforcements as well, he's able to trade as efficiently as he can. The War Prism stays alive, able to warp in more and more reinforcements, and that's all the Stalkers of Stats gone.
It really is. I mean, these Zealots are very beefy, but especially without charge, this is going to be pretty easy for Trap to kite. There's the last stand for Stats in terms of defense. He's just waiting for that +1 melee weapons to finish up, but it's not going to happen. GG is called, and Trap takes game number 3. Gonna go on match point. Did I say melee weapons? I meant ground weapons.
+1 weapons regardless, and GG. Trap takes the game in quite a decisive fashion.
Where are you at, Gemini?
Right? Where are you at? I mean, I'm sure he's watching. You know what? He's at work right now, but he's got like his earbuds on, like he's listening to us on his phone.
As he does.
As he does. I mean, he's done it before. He's been in the chat before to cheer for his boy. But yeah, Trap, he's doing well.
What's the name of that emote? Trap W or Trap Keck? I don't remember what it's called, but it's a great emote. Where it's like, oh yeah, I think his opponent should have this game. You know, they're pretty favored. And then Trap wins. It was especially when I remember DreamHack Summer, when I really thought, oh yeah, Rainer's gonna destroy Trap. Trap ended up winning that, and Gemini was there with the emote.
Oh god, of course he was. And yeah, so far great. Trap is looking quite strong here. Like again, like his defensive play against the Oracles, like his offensive play, you know, blinking into the main base, sniping off some observers, you know, getting those force fields on the ramp, you know, stopping all the sentries and zealots of Stats from getting into the main was really, really nicely done.
Very much so was. And again, you are taking a risk when you expand that quickly into PvP, and usually Stats is able to mitigate those risks, but on a map like Pillars of Gold, where the third base, especially in that location, is so far away from the main base, it's pretty hard to defend. Maybe if Stats went for the third base in the sort of northern position, or northern-ish position, it would have worked out better, but yeah, it was what it was in the end.
Yeah, it did kind of come down to vision and awareness, map awareness, because
absolutely.
if he knew where the main army of Trap was, he like Stats would have been able to reposition his army. But as we saw, like his army was split in half. Like he had a couple of stalkers in the main, the rest of his army was at the third base, completely out of position from where they needed to be. And Trap, he was able to utilize that to his advantage. So yeah, again, really nicely done by Trap. We'll see if he's able to hold on to this momentum, because he only needs one more win and then he wins the entire tournament.
Seth is laughing in the lobby chat.
Inu, translate please.
We need you, this is your time. But yeah, we're about to go into what could potentially be the final map. Go, says Stats. He's excited. He's got something in store here, and my only question is like, Are they sick of cyber blocking one another?
Nah, mate.
Or are they both gonna be petty?
They're only just starting, mate. They're gonna cyber block each other. They're gonna throw down a gateway as well for good measure. Like, why not? It's gonna be crazy.
Here's hoping, at least. And speaking of here's hoping, here we have the player who I think we're all hoping will take this game so we get our ace match, so we get more StarCraft 2 tonight. We have, spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map, all the way in the top left-hand corner of the map, of Death Aura. LE, of course, standing for Lagoon Entrance. Lagoon Entrance. That's when you go into the lagoon. You make your entrance. In the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the red Protoss player coming down from the land of South Korea. And Light, I messed this up the past 3 games, but are you free?
Down in Africa.
Where he is streaming his games. Well, no, he's not streaming his games now, but he does stream on Africa from time to time. He is the Shield of Fire himself, representing Africa Freaks. We have Stats.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player currently representing Jin-Air Green Wings. It is Trap. Oh.
The probes are here, Light. The probes. They're waiting for the 100 minerals. Stats, he's got 100 minerals to spend. He spends it at home.
Wow, this is interesting. Neither player going for the pylon block. Oh, no, never mind.
Well, you started too soon there. Stats, go for that pylon block, but Trap, he's ready for it. Sending out 2 probes, really looking to brew Stats. Stats, ready for Trap's block.
Oh yeah, and already Stats with a little bit of a win. He does force the Zealot out from Trap. We're gonna have to be forced to try and get rid of that pylon. No, Stats is trying to go for the Cyber.
still alive somehow. This probe is... There's the Cyber Core! And we thought that they were going to be putting that behind them. We thought that they decided to, you know, let it go. Not be petty, but Stats. He can't let it go.
I never thought that, mate. I knew. I knew Stats was going to go for it. Yeah, Trap even going for it as well. Just the lone pylon, though.
Yeah, Trap, you know, he is going to lead by example here. He is going to say, you know what? I won't pylon cyberblock you this game. Maybe if we get an ace match, don't cyberblock me again, please.
I think, you know what Trap is? He's like, you know what? You need this little win, okay, buddy? Because I'm on match point, okay? I'm on match point. You can take. You need this more than I do, okay?
I've got Gemini on my side.
Oh god. And so yeah, you know, Trap being a little bit maybe overconfident. We'll see how this pans out. As ooh, nice shade there, able to block the shade.
And that's just enough DPS, it seems, from Trap to be able to take out at least one of the Adepts. But Stats with the shade. Recall being forced right now from Trap. But already Stats going to be able to take out a couple of probes. Gets a very good look at this base. Scouting every corner just to make sure he's not being bamboozled.
Exactly. And even escapes with one of the Adepts as well.
You know what it is like. Yeah, Sentry a little bit vulnerable, but still tough enough.
Oh god!
It does get taken out though.
Yeah, not tough enough at all. It does get taken out, and that does hinder the scouting information of Trap even further. And now the first Oracle is going to be diving on in, able to take out one of the probes, and the shield battery's not ready. Oh my god.
No, it is not. After Sentry is still alive, maybe we'd see a Guardian Shell just help out a little bit. But not going to be the case here. Oracle will get a couple more kills, putting Trap not too far behind. But this early on in the mirror matchup, as long as Stats continues to produce the probes, Trap is going to be perpetually behind. Stats actually going for the Void Ray, which is the first of the series.
Exactly, and oh my god, there's the second Oracle for Stats. He now has two available to him, and as you were saying, we do have that Void Ray on the way as well, and Stats is playing this game out beautifully. Again, like doing so much with the initial Adepts, with the Oracle follow-up as well. Like Trap, he just had no idea, and the Oracles are getting it again! Oh my god!
There is just enough Oracles to ignore the shield battery to one-shot these probes. It is in such low health that Oracle is, and Stats, he's playing this out much better.
Yeah.
Immediate GG from Trap. He knows how far behind he is. And we're getting our ace match light. We are going full on to a game number 5. This is pretty exciting.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what this goes to show? Again, the overconfidence of Trap. He didn't go for that Cybernetics core block, and as a result, we see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's integral. It's like so like important to the PvP matchup, and when you don't do it, like you just get so far behind.
You know, I wanted to bring it up, but there were more important things to bring up earlier on. Stats. He saw that Trap didn't go for the pylon block, and then he went for a full scout in the base to make sure he wasn't being bamboozled. He could not believe his eyes. He did not believe that Trap decided not to cyber block.
Yeah.
He thought there was something fishy about that.
Yeah, and there was, and then Stats was just able to take the quick win.
And now we're going on to Eternal Empire for our ace match. What a map to end things off with, Light.
I know, right? We're going to the most macro of all maps, and we'll see if we end up in a macro PvP. We haven't had the luxury of casting one of those in quite some time. You know, maybe a good hour or so.
We were concerned that Stats versus Trap was going to be two defensive Protoss players staring at each other for 20 minutes until one of them decides to take initiative. Not the case at all in the series.
Exactly, and on a map like this, mate, I'm just waiting to see the cyber blocks. That's all I want.
That is all PvP. That's what you really look forward to in a PvP, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
This is why you're excited for Wednesday, but today's not Wednesday, today is Monday, and we are on ESL Open Cup Asia, the final map of the tournament, which will determine whether or not Stats becomes the winningest ESL Open Cup Asia champion. He just needs this one map to overtake Zest and Solar. Gonna be representing a freak of freaks, the Shield of Fire himself. We have Stats. Boy. I realized once I said his name, my entire intro went out of order.
Exactly, I was
So I
so
decided to
surprised.
just end it. So I decided to just end it. Just cut it. Don't try to salvage it. Just cut the intro.
Yaku, you know what? Because that intro was cut so abruptly and that's so uncharacteristic of you, mate, take it away.
Alright, we are in the bottom left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner of Eternal Empire, L-E-E-L-E-Ile, where we have the blue Protoss player going to be representing General Greenwing's Jaguar. He is the wing commander, and you know where he's flying, Light? He's flying right to Gemini, showing him his potential new victory. If he can do it, we have Trap.
And Trap being a little bit cheeky with this probe. I love it. He is sneaking that proxy pylon, and this position, it looks pretty good for, might I say, a Stargate.
Well, knowing the wing commander, he's probably going to go for a robo facility.
Oh yeah, it's probably going to be a robo. Actually, you know what? It's going to be
a gateway.
A Twilight Council and a Dark Shrine. Actually, is what it's going to be. It's
actually going to be a Cybercore.
Oh my god, you know what I don't like though? Coming out from either of these players, there is no cyber block whatsoever. No pylon block either.
Yeah, but you know what? This is a bit of a consolation. If you can't get the cyber block, at least get the pylon block on the ramp and the proxy gateway. Not gateway, sorry, Stargate.
Yeah, and we do see the stats, like he is scouting around for anything really. We do see the probe is going towards the north, and we do have the stalkers headed towards the south as well.
And that's exactly where the units need to be. If they can take this out, what is Trap's follow-up from here?
Nothing. He GG's. That's it.
His follow-up is the cyber block.
I mean, it's a little bit too late for that. I mean, we'll see what happens. The pylon, it's going to go down before anything comes out from this Stargate, and stats. He sniffs this out. He completely shuts it down.
But it's a mind game, Light. Trap, he's transitioning to a robo facility.
Oh, he is.
All the resources, though.
You know, Trap, he knew that the Stargate wasn't going to work out. He knew that it was eventually going to be spotted by stats and take up all of this time from these stalkers. So he immediately throws down the robotics facility. He throws down his Nexus as well, like well before stats does.
Yeah, stats actually going for, I don't want to call it one base because he will eventually have to break out of this, but yeah, he is sticking on one base for now and just building up his stalker count, trying to go for some sort of aggression on the other side of the map.
This is kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. We've seen this before. Like stats, he has 5 stalkers out. He's pushing out across the map. There's no shield battery. The Nexus isn't done for a potential overcharge. Like, what is there? There's 2 sentries.
There's a sentry.
Oh god, I don't know, man.
That can definitely help out if the force fields are on point.
Definitely.
He really needs to buy time for the Immortal right now.
Yeah.
Even with the Immortal, I think it's still going to be tricky with that many stalkers, but that is going to be the backbone of Trap's defense.
Yeah, definitely. It has to be so careful with how he engages. He can't throw away gateway units for nothing. And there we go. The first Immortal is done. And with this Immortal, he should be able to push this away.
Oh, he should be able to just about push it away, but stats, he realizes that the main buffer is gone. God. The stalkers have been taken out. It is all about these sentries right now. And the shield battery is helping out a ton. Not sure if that Nexus is quite in range to overcharge the battery.
Oh god, the Immortal!
I think it is. The Immortal does get cut out. Beautiful body blocking with the Adepts, and with that, stats, I think we just got our winningest ESL Open Cup champion.
Exactly. There's nothing left here. The shield battery is out of energy. There is 1 Immortal remaining, but there's nothing stopping stats from really pouncing on top of it when he gets the opportunity. We have more reinforcements coming as well, and the natural is getting lower and lower.
It very much so is. Stats still taking this seriously. He knows that his stalkers, they're pretty low. They're on the yellows and the reds. He's actually backing off entirely, working on the next phase, which will involve Link and probably Halux.
Yeah, probably, as we do see stats, he's trying to break out from his main base. He does back off. An interesting decision. He definitely could have continued to apply pressure, as we do see that Trap doesn't have too much here. He has 2 Stalkers, 2 Adepts, and an Immortal, but...
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to deal with Guardian Shell and potential shield batteries.
Yeah, I
mean,
think
especially without Blink.
Yeah,
It's a little
stats.
trickier.
He was just taking, taking his chances. Like, he was able to kill an immortal, deal a lot of damage. He backs off, and he knows that he has this advantage when it comes to the economy. So yeah, he's just getting more ahead.
Yeah, I think that really is a sign of a player who knows what they're doing when they're able to take out their own stalkers. But also able to know, shall I, end my opponent, or shall I just, play it safe?
Exactly, and we do see him playing it safe. This is kind of what Stats is known for. He's going for that hallucinated scout. He's looking to see what his opponent is doing, and yeah, we do see he is working on Blink. And once Blink is done, then these stalkers, they become so much more versatile. You can go into the main base. You can Blink against immortals as well and trade more efficiently. So yeah, we'll see if Stats he decides to push out once again once he has his upgrades and potentially a War Prism as well.
Well, we are, I guess, ending off this series with a classic Stalker Immortal versus Stalker Immortal. And as you were saying, Stats, he's just waiting for his cue. Trap, he's looking to buy as much time as he can, try to macro up, try to get a defense going for him. Whereas Stats, War Prism is being rattled across the map, Stats already making his way.
Yeah, I hope Trap doesn't push out. I feel like because he should be aware himself that he is behind in certain aspects of this game, so like he should try and be as defensive as he can. I'm a little bit concerned because I don't see any shield batteries at the natural. There's just that one, on the high ground.
It's not shield battery. Oh, overcharge range, sorry.
Yeah, so this is a little bit worrying to me. I feel like Trappy's cutting corners. To be fair, I feel like he does need to cut corners, so it makes sense, but it's very risky.
It definitely is, but there's going to be it's risk reward again. And Trap, his upgrades are on the way, but Stats, Stats is being a little bit cautious right now, right? He is trying to get his army in the best possible position before he even reveals himself here, so that could buy enough time for Trap to, maybe get a couple more units out, finish up the +1, finish up the Blink. Trap is moving out, though.
Yeah, Trappy's feeling confident enough now that he has 2 immortals. He has the War Prism. Blink is on the way. It should finish up by the time he gets to the other side of the map. So yeah, Trap, again, this is so risky. If Trap, he cannot lose this War Prism. Like this War Prism with 2 immortals, like if he loses that could be it.
Oh, I think that will be it. I think that will be the cue for Stats to just move across the map. And so Trap, he's going for the third base, which I do really like. He needs to get his economy back on track. And the War Prism is sneaking around.
Okay, I like that he... Okay, never mind. I was gonna be like, I like that he dropped the immortal so he doesn't have all his eggs in one basket, but like he is going in, he is out of range. The army of Stats is out of position, so this drop could deal some decent damage. He could warp in quite a number of zealots. Yeah,
exactly. He knows he's got to take a risk, so he's gonna be loading up all the immortals into that War Prism, going into the main base, trying to depower whatever he can. But Stats, he's not turning around, he's not recalling just yet.
Yeah, he just wants to push on in, and to be fair, he can. He has such a large Stalker count at the moment, and a reinforcing immortal does pop out at home, so Stats, he can defend forces recall.
Yeah, Jinx. But Stats, he was cautious going up this ramp, but now that he has his Q, he blinks right on top of this. There is battery overcharge though, and the disruptors are out here to aid the defense. Very nice juggling coming in from Trap, not losing a single immortal so far.
Oh, and I love this from Trap. We keep talking about it. The disruptors, they are the great equalizer. Like they can definitely, just swing the fight in his favor if he lands the good shots, or good enough shots, I should say.
That's definitely a big if though. As Stats, we have seen him very on point with his blinks.
Yeah, and we've reached a point where Stats, he gave Trap enough time to the point where Trap, he has a third base, like where we have like a decent economy now. Like the worker counts are pretty comparable to each other, and with disruptors, like it's going to be difficult for Stats to break Trap.
I believe this is our longest game of the series so far.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh god, and like I don't know how I feel about this. Like Stats against all of these disruptors, 4 disruptors, soon to be 5. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Stats, I think, is also aware of this. He's staying out here just to try to contain his opponent, you know, keep some pressure on Trap, make sure that he can't get too comfortable. But he is second up behind us, getting a couple of disruptors of his own, getting charged for his zealots, even investing into War Prism speed. So we should be seeing a lot more harass coming out from a Red Protoss player.
Oh yeah, we do see Stats. He's even getting a Dark Shrine as well, looking to invest into DTs. That'll work amazingly. Getting his own disruptors, but oh, he finds an avenue here. He finds a way. Oh, he gets the War Prism.
Does get a War Prism, and that is a worthwhile sacrifice, honestly. Keeping a couple of Stalkers here just to eat the Purification Novas. Stats, he knew what he had to do. Those Stalkers were on a mission, jump in, jump out, and this is going to keep Trap on the defensive once again.
Yeah, I mean, it also stops Trap from moving out. Like, you're not going to push out without a War Prism. Like, that sounds crazy as a Protoss player. So he's going to be forced to remake that, and if he remakes it, then that stops Disruptor production for a while.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to push out. You're not going to be able to do any harass.
Oh, God.
Stats, his entire focus is on this side of the map.
Wow.
Takes out the Immortals. Just like that.
Oh my god, just clinical Stats is. He snipes the War Prism first, then he snipes both Immortals just like that, just like it was nothing. Amazing force fields coming out from Stats, and I mean, to be fair though, it does at the end of the day come down to the Purification Novas. Like, these are nice moves from Stats, but if like one wrong move.
Watch them both Nova one another's disruptors.
Oh,
so I'm waiting for battery overcharges here, but guess what? Battery overcharge does not care about Purification Nova. Neither does Blink as they blink away. But really good baiting out the Blink from Stats, as he does get a couple of those Stalkers to fall to the Nova. Nice moves coming out from Trap and actually managing to isolate the Disruptors of Stats.
Only one Disruptor left of Stats. Like, that's all he has compared to the 5 of Trap. So Stats, he's kind of getting cornered right now. He's getting pinned in.
A little bit, but Trap exposing his Disruptors right over there. But the Blink is off cooldown. A lot of these Stalkers are going offline and being taken out. Trap should be able to snowball his way from here. Look at the army supply difference.
Exactly, like a Stats,
Gemini.
like a bit of like mismaneuvering of the main army, and Stats, he split himself too thin, and just like that, Trap dismantled the segmented army of Stats. And to be fair, Stats defensively, now he has 4 Disruptors. Like, Disruptors, like, they can do anything right now.
I mean, we just saw how well they could do in the previous fight.
Exactly.
But Blink has to be on point. You cannot waste your Blinks like that, Stats. But he does split his Stalker regardless.
Yeah.
His Stalker's pretty well regardless.
Exactly. Nicely done. Meanwhile, these Disruptors are so exposed.
They very much so are. But all of the Stalkers being taken out just like that. Meanwhile, there are still a lot of Stalkers though left for Trap. And the key thing, Disruptor's still alive for him.
Exactly.
Stats really struggling, being pulled apart from 2 different angles. You're getting somewhat sandwiched here with these Zealots.
Exactly, and there are only 2 Disruptors left for Stats, and if he can hold on, that'd be great, but there are just so many more Disruptors here on the side of Trap. To be fair, his own army is getting a little bit split up. Like, he has to be careful with how he maneuvers, and somehow, some way, Stats actually pushes the army back.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Trap decided not to fight by that Nexus, but I guess he does realize that, you know, you can't be reliant 100% on these Purification Novas to keep the army of Stats at bay.
Yeah, honestly, it was really surprising that none of these probes went down, and he blinks on forward.
That he does. Not quite going to be able to cancel a couple of these Novas, and that was going to be it. Trap going to be preventing the 6 wins. And what a way to end things off. We had a pretty wild PvP, but in the end, we had to go for the classic Stalker Immortal versus Stalker Immortal into Blink Stalker. No, Blink Disruptor into Blink Disruptor.
Exactly, and GG, well played. Like, Stats, he had a strong start, but in the end, Trap, with his Blink Stalkers, with his Disruptors, he was able to claw his way back, take almost every single fight well, and that was great.
It really was. That it was, and I gotta be real honest with you, Light. My eyes were on Stats there. You know, he won it last week. He was looking to become the 6-time ESL Asia champion.
Yeah.
And generally, I think most people would agree. Stats is a little bit favored compared to Trap, but man, what a series we got. Gemini has got to be smiling somewhere.
He has to be, and GG, well played, Trap. Again, I think Trap, he is a little bit overshadowed by some of the other Protoss players, but again, showing here today like how strong he can be in this matchup, in the PvP matchup, and yeah, it was great to see both players duke it out and go all the way to the ace match.
Very much so was, and yeah, I mean, maybe a little unfortunate we weren't able to catch Stats Hurricane, but we got a pretty sick PvP.
Yeah, that we did. And again, shout out to all the other players who made it at least to the top 4, like Special as well as Hurricane. They did well for themselves to make it that far and walk away with some cash money. But of course, like, just really well played by Trap and Stats as well. And yeah, again, this is kind of what we expect here. If you're new to ESL Open Cup Asia, it is typically dominated by the Korean Protosses: Trap, Stats, Parting, Zest, Rain. They all show up. Yep, they are all featured prominently here every single week. And to be fair, we do have a couple of other like races, you know, depending on the week. Sometimes we have Armani and Ragnarok representing Zerg. Solar as well. We rarely spoke about him, but Solar, he's usually here.
That's a new... Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, I did interrupt you here, but no, just... That's a new way to pronounce Solar. I think a lot of people like it's either Solar or Solar. Solar.
Yeah.
That's actually another way to pronounce it. Yeah, I never thought about it that way.
Solar, yeah.
Solar.
But yeah, like they are typically here. When it comes to Terrans, it's typically Cure, Special, Bunny. I feel like those are the top 3 off the top of my head.
Sometimes Time.
Oh yeah, Time, and occasionally TY, occasionally. But yeah, again, that was a great tournament. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's great to see everyone show up. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that this tournament doesn't get as much coverage as others. I know for ESL Europe and NA, like there's typically like 5 or 6 different streamers. But Korea seems, yeah. Rip time zones? Is that what you said?
Rip time zones.
Yeah. Typically, this is a bad time zone for the rest of the casters, like the rest of the regions, like NA and Europe. But, you know, we're based here in Southeast Asia and Australia, so well, it's kind of lucky for us, I guess. And yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Hi, Steven, if you're watching. The friend I told about.
I hope he stuck through the entire thing. Oh boy. And with that, Yaku, where can people find more of you?
Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1. Gonna be taking a bit of a break from ladder, so mostly gonna be streaming Darkest Dungeon or potentially some other game if I feel like it on the day. Not sure when the next stream's gonna be. Probably Sunday, maybe TM, maybe tomorrow if I have free time. But yeah, no promises there. Twitter.com at Empora Yakuzaku ! Discord in the chat. I'll bring you to the CranKy Ducklings Discord server, and yeah, we'll be able to. Or you will be able to find myself, as well as Light, as well as the other members of CranKy, as well as a lot of the other CranKy adjacent people, you know, such as Jet, Excel, such as Kerwin, such as Starduck. And other than that, buy my shirts. Where can we find you, Light?
Yeah. Again, like I cast every single week with Yaku, you know, with this tournament series, ESL Asia. You can also find Yaku on Saturdays as he does cast Grand Platypus Open. But when it comes to me, you can find me at Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I typically stream throughout the week, either ladder sessions or I've been streaming a lot of XCOM 2 recently as well, just to kind of like, you know, chill and relax from all the casting that we've been doing. It's been fun. I have a character for every single Ducklings member.
Have you recruited me yet?
Huh?
Have you recruited me yet in the...
No. God, no. We do have our first deaths, though. Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but Claire was the first to die. Yeah. Claire was the first, and Kura was the second.
I thought you might be safe scumming there, but yeah, finally you decided not to. You made too much progress.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a rule in our chat, like, I typically don't reload unless we fail the mission, but if we finish the mission and someone dies, then that's fine. That's typically how we go.
It's not canon. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we did have a couple of Ducklings fall already, and yeah. So tune into that if you're interested. Otherwise, you can follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings. We're live almost every single day of the week. And our next broadcast will be on, I believe, Thursday. I still need to confirm the time with you, but we will be casting NA Contender.
Yeah. Probably going to be around 6 p.m. ish KST, but again, the time hasn't been set yet.
Oh my god, Garden's still awake.
Eat your broccoli.
God damn it. All right, thank you everyone for tuning in. We will stick around as we will be rating another StarCraft 2 streamer at the end of this broadcast. And with that, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for watching.
Catch you in the next one.
Ciao.
Bella.